Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of After Work with Alagan. And this time I have one of my favorite people from Sweden, Mattias Weinhandl. Mattias is a champion hockey player who played for the Swedish national team, to NHL in the US, to the Linköping Hockey Club. He has done amazing work and amazing games, and then people love him for him representing the country and the clubs and really winning a lot of games.
Breakdowns down low. Weinhandl scores! Yasha made the pass across. And Weinhandl snapped it home. It is 6-2 Islanders.
And Mattias now has become a big tech investor. So he now has invested in over 35 companies, and he's doing fantastic work in helping a lot of young companies grow and get bigger. And he has been a great friend for a while, and then it's my pleasure to bring him on a chat like this. Yes.
Thank you very much for that nice introduction.
I wanted to start off the conversation with how did you get into sports? And why hockey?
As I said before, I grew up in a small town, Ljungby, which is influenced by sports and entrepreneurship. So that formed my decision during my life. So I played all kind of sports. I played tennis, hockey, football, or soccer, pingis.
What is pingis?
It's a ping pong.
Oh, it's ping pong. Okay.
Ping pong,
right.
yeah.
Okay.
So it's a racket sport.
Right.
So I did all kind of things though. But then when I was 12, 13, I had to make a choice to, and then hockey was the obvious choice, and it was pretty easy for me to do because I love to do that most of everything.
Okay.
But I think it was pretty good that I also did all the other kind of sports before, because that made me a broader player, which I think is good, and you try out a lot.
Right. Were you equally good at all the other sports, or was hockey much better than others?
Yeah, I think hockey was probably number one, but tennis I was quite good. So I was in my region team in tennis.
Right.
Soccer was decent.
Wow.
So, but I always had a ball in my hands, in my foot when I was small, and probably have some talent for that though.
Sure. I mean, for you to be able to do multiple sports at the same time and then specialize, great. How does one person go from like a 13-year-old interested in multiple games and choosing hockey to all the way to national team to National Hockey League in the US? Like, how did you scale your sporting career, and then how did you grow?
Yeah. As always, I think role models are really important. And as I grew up in Ljungby, I have the role model to play in the A team. And we were in Allsvenskan, league below the Elitserien, or SHL. So there was a role model. Then I had my idols who plays in the NHL. So I had, when I was 5, 6, 7, I always dreamt about to play in NHL. That was the biggest dream for every hockey player.
Okay.
So there was a long goal dream, which kept me fighting during the times and strive to be better every day. So, and I think that's really important to have long-term dreams, goals, and then have good role models, which we had in our town. And then I got new role models when I was 17, 18, 19. So I always expand on that to try to improve my skills. So it's not obvious that you what you want to do, but I think I find my passion pretty early, which I'm very grateful to.
Right.
And for me, I just loved what I did to play hockey every day, and it was fantastic though. So I'm really grateful to have that, been able to do that journey, really to have that as my work though.
Right. Amazing. So you knew that this is your passion very early on, because how did you figure that part out? Like, is it the love that you had for the game, or is it?
Yeah, I would say that. And I can remember when I was like 4, 5, 6, I was out every day.
Wow. Okay.
Played street hockey or went to the ice with my older brother who trained me
Right.
with my friends. So I just loved to play sports. And then when I was a little bit older, I just loved hockey more than the other sports though.
Did anybody else from your family play any sports?
My older brother he played hockey until he was 17, 18. So he was a role model as too. And he started earlier, and then I wanted to do what he did.
Right.
Play hockey, soccer.
Right.
I think that's influenced me. But
That makes.
still, even that, I think I had some drive to some passion. I just loved the game.
Nice. Lovely. Being in sports for such a long time and doing in multiple different leagues and games, like that will teach you a lot, right? What are the biggest lessons you have learned from hockey, from playing hockey as a champion to be a competitive player? What have you learned?
Yeah, a lot though. But I think all kind of sports is really crucial to evolve characteristic for the person.
Yeah.
So that's why I put so much effort now to the youth sports, because I think that's key for the next generation to really grow resilience, discipline, focus, long-term goal setting, and really working hard. And then in sports, you fail a lot.
That's true.
And you fail really early, and then you have to learn from that all the time. And I think that's a key, which is really important. If you want to be a good player or a good student or a good person, you have to fall down, and then you have to really learn from that and reflect and do it in some other way, and hopefully it's going to be better, and then you learn and then you grow all the time.
Because you don't get to fail that often in things other than sports, right? Because if you're reasonably smart and doing good, then the frequency of failure is very low in other things.
Exactly.
But in sports, you fail a lot. That good.
And I think that's a key, and you have to take that into the to other systems too, though, because that's the key. That's when you learn, and you're not going to be afraid to make mistakes or do wrong stuff. It's all about the learning mindset, the growth mindset that you can evolve and develop.
Right.
And I think that's a key, how you really get to know yourself and really get to that understanding in the early years, which I think sports are doing. And then you can have that with you, whatever you do in the future.
When you had your first big failure in a game that you were disappointed, everybody was disappointed, did you have this mindset? How did you feel when you had the biggest failure, especially the first time, because it hurts us, right?
Yeah, no, I don't think I have that when I was like 5, 6. Then I was just crying and mad, and I don't want to lose. But then you evolve, and then I think I had something. I reflected a lot,
Right.
and then I realized pretty early that okay, I get mad, sad, but what did you learn? And then I tried to switch that, and I probably could do a lot more. Now I know a lot more than I did when I played.
Yeah.
But I think that's a key, that you realize that pretty early, that instead of using that energy to be mad and angry and stuff like that, relocated that and use that in a more
Productive way,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
I felt I haven't done a lot of sports. I played a little bit of basketball, but that's pretty much it. I used to play cricket, but again, I'm not a good player. But I can have fun on the field. But when I started Rootcode, I remember the series of failures that happened. And then the first time it was so shocking. And then after a few times when you fail, it just becomes part of life. So I started accepting it. And because you can't win everywhere. So I think I kind of looked at building the business and entrepreneurship as a fun sport as well. So that has given me, I think, a lot of inspiration to keep fighting. And that, yeah. So when you say that, this reminds me the struggles that we had. I used to be mad too. I used to be very sad and disappointed. I felt like packing the bags and going home, and then still didn't.
Just curiosity is it's a word that I think it's you can also evolve or grow, or because I'm very curiosity, and if you have that, you can. That's what I hopefully can try to teach my kids to really be that in everything you do, and then if you lose or you fail, be curious why and really understand it. So then you don't really blame yourself. It's more like a learning moment, and be curious. Why did it happen? How did it happen? What can I change? How can it be better? And you have that, and you grow that mindset in early years. I think it's going to be really good for you when you grow up though.
I'm sure, yeah. Winning and losing is just one tough thing, right? I mean, that's
Part of life.
part of life, yes. And sometimes life can give you a blow that almost looks impossible to get up from. And you have had injuries that were like, that would have ruined. If it was somebody else, I don't think they would have ever come up after that. For example, the one you had in the national match with the Czech team, 99, was it? Yeah. And when that opponent team hit you with the stick on your eyes, and then you broke your forehead as well, right?
Yeah, a little bit, and then I had some my yellow dot, I think they call it.
Right.
Get scarred issues.
When that happened, I don't think anybody, and then your eyesight went down to 10%, right?
Yeah.
I don't think anybody expected you to kind of become even a stronger player after that. You played more than 1.5 decades after that, and then only you went to NHL to everything. Like how? Like how did you do that?
I think somehow I probably I had that a little bit of the growth mindset before, which I didn't realize because I haven't really talked about it, and I really didn't get that feedback from other adults and stuff like that. But it was pretty natural for me when I had that time. One day I remember the day after, that was really, really, really tough. Then I thought I had to quit the hockey, and that would be terrible when I was 19. My first year pro.
Yeah.
And then I realized that I have 10% left on my left eye. But I can remember that, almost that feeling today. I went deeper into myself and really got motivated by that.
Okay.
Then I'm going to go out and show that I can be even a better player than before, because nobody thought that they're even going to play hockey again.
Yeah.
So that was internal motivation. Then I practiced harder, did more, and I had to change my way to play because I lost some vision. So I had to adapt more in form of with my head and have better split vision. But I think that, and then was luckily I was just 19 because the brain and the mindset is pretty adaptive
Yeah,
in that
yeah.
in those years. But I was determined to come back and be a even better player. So it was an inner motivation, and I don't really know what that came from, but I think that go through my lives. I always want to be better, always
Yeah.
want to improve
Yeah.
whatever I do.
Yeah.
And yeah, nothing can stop you when you have that mindset. So it's
Yeah, it's crazy because I've seen the exact same mindset in almost every successful person that I know. Because life will, at least a few times in your lifetime, give you a blow that you feel like you can't get up. And all of them, when I talk to them, they say, I wanted to come back even stronger. I wanted to grow out of it. I mean, I feel I'm down right now. I'm at my worst, but I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna keep moving. I think that's a different breed of people. I think some people have that mindset, and if we can cultivate that mindset in more people, I think that would be the real game changer for the world. Yeah.
and I think you can cultivate it.
How do you cultivate that?
Nah, but growth mindset and static mindset is you can introduce that and more get the understanding that nothing is static. It's more, it's up to you. And you have to see it like we talked about before, learning and understand that your brain can adapt and you can evolve.
Yeah.
And we all have the same we all can do that. It's
Yeah.
not if you're born to that or nothing. So it's equal playing field, but it takes a lot of own responsibility. And I think you can, we talked about before, the term grit.
Yeah, grit,
With,
my God,
and
yes.
the book Grit with Angela
Yeah.
Duckworth. It's fantastic, and she explained that, and I think you really can cultivate it and teach that in early years. And I think like we talked about before, the school system and those have a really important task to do.
Yeah.
And like in Sweden, the sport and the sports is really important and really big, and a lot of parents and help out a lot. And I think that's a key to develop those characters in those individuals.
Yeah, and then families and the networks can really help us, because I remember looking up. My parents were big inspirations for me. They did a lot of things that people would think impossible, and then that kind of. So when I feel like I can't do anything, I can't really accept it. I always think like, no, I should be able to figure it out. So yeah, I think amazing stuff. Yeah, great. Okay. So you were a successful hockey player. You were smashing the record statistically, the best player in the league at some point. It was just unbelievable number of goals and assists. What was your best game? Like, do you have a game that you feel like the best? That do you remember anything distinctly?
Not the best, but the first NHL game. That's something who really stands out. And also score a goal my first NHL game, which was my dream since I was 5-6 to reach that, play in NHL. That was
And
huge.
who were you playing against in that game?
Ottawa.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you were in New York?
Yeah, New York Islanders.
Yeah, Islanders.
So that's something. But then every time you put on your national team jersey, it's fantastic. It's honor, responsibility, and you sing the national anthem. And that's really big. Though. So I played there over 100 games, I think, which has been fantastic. Though.
Yeah, great. And then you became an investor. Right, you were at the peak of your career, and then you started investing your wealth into a lot of companies. and helping them and building them. You are in the board of many companies as well. Why did you become an investor?
Yeah,
Because you could have retired and just put your money in the bank and then just rest. Why did you?
No, but I had to quit hockey when I was 31, 32. So it was a little bit earlier than I expected.
Yeah.
That was my plan.
Sure.
My plan was to play 5-6 years in Linköping and retire. But I got too many concussions, probably from my eye injury, which is
Right.
pretty. My career started with eye injury and ended with concussion, though.
Wow.
So then I had a pretty tough time, 2012-13, in form of I didn't feel good. I couldn't really be outside, and the brain wasn't feeling good.
Right.
And then I had to quit, and it was not up to me.
Right.
So it was a tough time.
Right.
But like today, I'm pretty. Really, I'm glad that it went like that. Otherwise, I haven't been doing what I've been doing my last 10 years. So that's life too, though. So that I went, deep into myself and really what will I do and what won't I do, and I came up with I want a meaningful work with a lot of learning. I didn't really know what it was. I had my restaurant in Linköping. I had some other company and a big interest of the stock market since I was 19. So it was, I had something, but then I, like life is small, it's destiny almost. But then I was introduced to the startup ecosystem in Linköping 2014.
Okay.
And I found my new call, if you want to say that, right away though, with that, because that's pretty similar, entrepreneurship and the sports. It's
very similar.
Yeah, and I love that, to meet the entrepreneurs and see that drive, the passion.
Yeah.
So I back entrepreneurs, good people with that kind of characters. So I started 2014 and been a business angel since then, and try to support entrepreneurs in Sweden, most in Östergötland, but also in Stockholm, Gothenburg, because for me it's that's the key to a good society, is to have entrepreneur, and we try to help entrepreneurs with capital, knowledge, network, so they can grow the society though. And I think we're doing a pretty good job in Sweden, that we have a lot of entrepreneurs, and they are our heroes, which is great.
And you have invested in very different industries, very upcoming, very innovative industries, right? But what are the top industries that you love in those?
Yeah, it's I'm pretty agnostic there. For me, it's all about the people. It's all about the team. So I can end up in, but I like that you have the macro, that you have the headwind with you, and then I take bets in those bigger trends, in the right people, in the right teams, though.
Right.
So it's it's been health tech and food tech has been last couple of years. Now it's energy transition. AI, so it's a wide, different, diversified portfolio I have though.
Right.
But the comment is that these are great entrepreneurs though, hopefully.
Okay. But what are your most favorite products or companies that out of all the companies that you invested?
Yeah, that's always tough. I love all those 35-40 companies I have there.
Sure.
But yeah, for mention a couple, maybe I have one from headquarters is now in Linköping, Wash Up. It's a fantastic company who reduce 99% of the water when you do a car wash.
Yeah.
And you can do it on demand.
Yeah.
Which is pretty fantastic though.
And we are very glad to be a part of that journey
Yeah.
with Wash Up. Yeah.
And we're glad to have you as a partner though, which has been fun to see from the board level and see the hard work and the contribution you do to the companies. So it's fantastic though.
Yeah, I just, it feels like we just started, but it's more than half a year now. And then I think, we've produced a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. And then another company, Army, which is in the last mile delivery, carbon free,
Okay.
with his own algorithm who can in real time really optimize the routing.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it's same day in a couple of hours
Right.
in the carbon free way. So it's a great company from Stockholm.
Nice.
Belco is another Stockholm company,
Okay.
which is in the furniture that they are more renting or you subscribe on furniture.
Okay.
which
Subscription of any furniture?
is, yeah.
Okay.
And today is more B2B. So it's and that's, I think we have to go in that direction to subscribe or rent furniture in somehow.
That's an
And
interesting
then you
model.
can really
Upgrade easily.
and use them over and over again.
Yeah.
And better quality.
Yeah.
So I think it's better for both parts.
Yeah. I think everything is moving into subscriptions now, and I think that's a much better way, because things that gives you an opportunity to use the best every year, every 5 years. If you are a business, I would happily sign up for a subscription furniture for office, so that I don't have to buy. And then,
Exactly, and that's what a lot of, especially tech companies in Sweden do, and, and other companies too. Though. So they are growing pretty nicely. Though.
Nice. What are your future dreams and plans? How do you want the rest of your great life to be? Because I know you have a lot of drive, and I know you want to do a lot of things.
Yeah, I think it's tough, especially if you look back. For 10 years ago, I had no clue that I'm going to be an angel investor.
Yeah.
So I probably have no clue what I'm going to do in the next 10 years. The
Yeah.
only thing I hope is to be still curious and really have that mindset that every day is a great day to be learning, meeting new entrepreneurs, and hopefully still investing in those fantastic entrepreneurs who built great company, who solve big problems for the individual or for the planet. Because there is some big problems in the world that I think entrepreneurs and innovation can help to solve, and hopefully I can be a small part of that and do the same thing.
Lovely. And I know a lot of people, young and old, look up to you as a role model in Sweden. Everybody knows you. Everybody sees you as a role model. What's your advice to young people, especially, because that's the pivotal age where they really shape them to become adults, and you can make or break your life in that. What would you advise?
Yeah, it's always tough to give advice, but I think the time is you have to see it in long-term perspective and understand that things takes time. If you're going to be good at something, if it's in sport or building company, it takes time, and you have to have that understanding and that grit and that understanding. It comes with hard work, it comes with discipline, it's a lot of effort. and if you can, and then you have that learning ability that everything is a learning. It's not a mistake or it's not a loss. It's something that you can learn from and grow from. And if you can learn that in early years, I think you have gonna have a big advantage over other people
Right.
who might be more short-termed, more static mindset. But yeah, the life is it's fantastic and it's tough at the same time, and that's something you have to understand too. That it's not just going to be a smooth ride. It's up and downs, and it's all about how you handle those ups and downs and learn from those ups and downs.
Yeah.
And really, because the people you are around or the environment is really important and shape you a lot.
Okay.
And there you can make some decision. And I think that's, like we say, your partner, your family you cannot choose, but your partner, your friends, where you hang around, you can choose those environment and choose them wisely, because that's going to shape you and form you.
That makes
sense. And so try to be with people who you look up to and engage with those people.
That's a very good advice.
Yeah.
And I went to the Linköping game on Tuesday, and that was my first ever hockey game that I watched, and it was a home game, right? It was super powerful. People were chanting and shouting. I loved the game. What's your advice for me if I want to start learning hockey? Where should I start?
It's never too late, though.
Is it?
No.
It's way too late, but I don't want to become like a great player, but I want to at least play for fun. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a fantastic game, though. I agree.
Super fantastic.
Yeah. And to be your first game, it was amazing.
Yeah. It's almost 2 games. It was like it got extended. Yeah. The best part was everybody was so energetic at the start, and then we lost a goal, and then we lost the second, we lost the third, and it was like 3-0, and then we were like all down. And then when Linköping had the first goal, everybody started getting excited. Then the second, then the third, and then we were equal for like 3 periods, right?
Yeah.
And then a whole more than an hour we were equal, and then the last sudden death. But it was a fantastic game.
Yeah. No, but I think it's like we talked about before, curiosity, and you have to do your 10,000 hours of work before you can mastering anything, though. So it's a lot of hard work to be good at anything, though.
Yeah.
So if you have the time, just put it on.
I don't want to be good at it, but do people even play hockey for fun, or is it always only competitive?
No, we have a division there you play for fun too, though.
Okay.
And I think that's a really important thing too. And LOC is, I think it's the first year now, though. The ones who's not getting into the hockey gymnasium, they have a different team for those who love the game.
Okay.
And don't come into the gymnasium.
Yeah.
Can still play hockey and do that for fun when they're 17, 18, 19, 20, and so on. Though. So that's fantastic, though.
Nice.
Because it's it makes you. It's good for your body. You meet some friends and you have fun. So it's a really good thing, though.
It's a very interesting game. One thing that was fascinating for me was there was a lot of physical encounters, right? People just, if something goes wrong, people just start fighting, right? How did that culture became part of, and it has always been the part of hockey. And I understand that it's even a lot more in NHL.
Oh, yeah.
Because you can take the gloves off in NHL. Here,
Exactly.
you'll be suspended if you take the gloves off.
I think it's been a little bit, if you go back like 10, 20 years, that was way more fighting and gruffing and holding and stuff like that. So it's the hockey is more faster and more open and hopefully more fun to watch for the audience though.
Yeah.
So I think it's going in the right direction
Right.
though. But then I can, like in the NHL, when you have the fight, I think that's a part of the game too though. It's a lot of the crowd loves it and you get you excited.
Yeah.
And usually the fighters just fight with each other's anyway though, to just wake up the team and
Right.
get some emotions and stuff
Right.
like that though.
Yeah.
So I don't mind that though. But it's a physical game and
Yeah.
it should be. That's part of the game though.
For sure, it's a lot of entertainment for the audience.
Yeah.
It's fun watching. Great. Thank you, Mattias. It was a really great conversation. Thank you for inviting me home to record this as well. You have been, I have been silently watching you do a lot of great things, and then the time I got privileged to spend with you during the last year, I also learned a lot from you. As an entrepreneur, you have been a role model for me on how to fight adversity and how to kind of not give up and just keep pushing and keep hustling and still make it even bigger than where you started, right? So I really admire that about you, and it's a privilege to have you as a friend and then to be able to sit and record a conversation. Thank you.
Likewise. It's been a pleasure. Really fun to talking with you. First time in English for me in a
Really?
podcast. Yeah.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
That's a privilege.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be the first.
Yeah.
It was a fantastic discussion. Thank you so much.
Thank you.